All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Hat and Beard Show, Mad Hatter Nation. It is December 12th, 2025, and the NFL is getting weird. First headline here, you guys didn't see it. Philip Rivers signs with the Colts practice squad, comes out of retirement and at age 44. And, well, I tried to tell you so. Yes, I did, but I guess you didn't know. As the saddest story goes, baby, now I got the flow. Because I knew right from the start, baby, when you broke my heart, that I'd had to come again and show you that I'd win. Philip Rivers, you lied to me. All those times that I said that I loved you, you lied to me. But here we are, Philip Rivers, the return of the Mac, the middle-aged Christian. That's why I spelled it M-A-C. The middle-aged Christian. You guys know Philip Rivers and his 97 kids. That's right. He will probably have at least 5 more children born before he finally retires from the NFL. And one of, this is actually, I think, his first year. 5 years of retirement. 5 years? He's been retired 5 years. And Philip Rivers is able to come out of retirement. He's up for the Hall of Fame induction class. Could be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yet here we are. And what does this say? What does this mean? What does it mean now that we're at the point in the NFL where we're having 5 years removed from the NFL retired quarterbacks coming in and having to pick up the pieces where teams are significantly lacking? What does this say about the level of quarterback coming into the NFL? Over the last couple of years, we've seen a huge uptick in guys fizzling out after their first team, right? First-round picks, where it just doesn't work out. And we were used to that, but now we're seeing a return of players. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones was on a ticket for a big payday, with his resurgence. And so what's going on with these quarterbacks not being available? And what does it really say about the level of practice squad or free agent, or even the caliber, the depth of the free agent pool for teams too? Now we are week 14, 15, somewhere in there. It's going to be pretty slim pickings, right? But it's just not a good sign. It's just not good. It's giving my pension, I overspent and blew through my retirement, and here I am as a Walmart greeter at age 80 years old. But 44 years old, Philip Rivers signs with the Colts practice squad, comes out of retirement at age 44. Then we got some Lions news for you guys, as we are now growing ever so accustomed to. When you're a successful organization, there are ups and there are downs. For every positive, there is a negative. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. As the Lions win and become one of the cream of the crop, our coaching staffs will continue to be plucked and plundered by other programs, be it at the collegiate or professional level. Lions coach to take offensive coordinator job at Iowa State. How that affects the Lions' potential future. That's right. The tight ends coach, Tyler Roll, is headed to Iowa State to be the offensive coordinator over there. Now, what does that mean? We got some guys on hand. And in reality, how much does this absolutely affect the Detroit Lions? Let's be honest. No Sam Laporta, right? No Brock Wright. And as we're about to talk here pretty soon, no more Ross Smelly Dwelly. Yeah, so the tight end room not seeming to be as important of a position as it stands right now. Clearly, without Laporta there, the drop-off in talent is massive. Right, and Jared Goff finding other avenues to exploit Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, hell, even Isaac Tesla, right? But, good on Roll. We'll take a look at that. And then, the NFL. The NFL in the media machine, not doing the Detroit Lions any favors, setting the foundation. Okay, we'll talk about how this foundation is being set. For everyone to go ahead and start hanging asterisks on our impending Super Bowl victory. Right, already setting the foundation for why we didn't earn it, because of course if you're the Detroit Lions. You can't ever earn anything. It's always X, Y, and Z. Why? You got the W. You didn't go out there and just put assholes to elbows and take care of business, working overtime. No. So we're going to see what the media is already kind of laying out there, right? This is both a positive, woohoo, good for us, but also a, the heck are you guys doing over there? Why are you doing that? Why'd you say that? Why are you saying that? Don't say that. Don't put that stuff out there. We then have the last story up, and it is, if we can go ahead and load here, we hinted at it. Arthur Mollett. You guys good on Arthur Mollett. Lions re-sign Arthur Mollett. Now, I said that when we released him, I didn't know if there was a possibility, and the odds were, at least in my mind, between the two guys, because we caught Whiteside and Arthur Mollett at the same time, and I was like, there's probably a really good chance that Mollett, being a road warrior, being out there from team to team, bouncing around a little bit, more of a journeyman, right? With the play that he put on tape with the Lions in his small exposure, justified probably having some people kick the tires on it. Well, here we are a few weeks later, and Arthur Mollett has made it all the way around back to the Detroit Lions because we need secondary help. Detroit Lions re-sign Arthur Mollett and waive a tight end. And who could that be? Who could it be now? Well, if you look at the snap percentages week to week, old Smelly Dwelly not carrying his water, right? So just going to go let you guys know. Ross Dwelly's been cut. Yeah, that's what happened. Arthur Mollett's been re-signed, so a little bit of depth maneuvering and that stuff there. Go ahead and move my windows over because we're trying a little bit more of a different show format here. I did not have a idea for a poll, so I'm not just going to force it, right? If it ain't going to work, ain't going to force it. You guys could do me a salad before we dive into the show. We're going to hit this oil can, and while I'm hitting this oil can, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe down below, and turn that notification bell on so that you can be notified every day that we go live, Monday through Friday. Oh, man, I really appreciate you guys hitting that button. The best thing you can do now, after you've done all that, share this video around. Copy the link down on your clipboard below. Just it counts as a share to the algorithm. It helps boost it up here. Yesterday, you can't come back and hype yesterday's video because, and I knew it was going to happen. Yeah, we got a little bit of a copyright. Not a strike, not a nothing. It's just any funds from yesterday will go to the content creator. Was her name Brandy or not Brandy? Melanie, the girl, the whoever owns the rights to Brand New Key, obviously. And I knew that was going to happen, but no, I can't hype that one, so it saves your hype. Hey, you get an extra hype. Why don't you come on back to today's video later today or tomorrow? Drop a hype on this video, guys. We are getting higher and higher every week. You guys hype it up just a little bit more and more. I see the points. I see the number of hypes. I see the back end analytics, dude, and I really appreciate you guys doing all of the heavy lifting. We got a full roster. Looks like everybody is in class and ready to go. My mom's here. What's up, Mom? I was wondering if you're going to be Ryan Allen. What's up, dude? I've been meaning to text you, my guy. Look, dude, I didn't want to. I imagine you're dealing with a lot, and I don't want to be like, just, even though my intentions are going to be good, I don't want to be another thing kind of piling on. I know you probably got just a lot going on, dude. So you guys, just in case you forgot, cheers to Ryan Allen, a first-time dad in the chat, you guys. So shout out Ryan, dude, our guy. All right, boys and girls, now that that's all out of the way, let's go ahead and dump into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
Well, I do got to give a shout out to Kane saying got his fingers crossed for a Lions-Panthers wild card so we can watch the game in Charlotte. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it, though? And, Jack, I do agree with you, bro. College semi-pro league is not producing quality quarterbacks anymore. They're not running. even remotely complex systems, So let's go ahead and take a look here. I do want to say one more thing. Popular trend is people coming out of retirement. Rivers is bored. Good morning, Mad Hatter Nation. My mom is 100% correct. I don't know if it's so much that Rivers is bored. I think that it's he can't stop making babies, and inflation just keeps going up and up and up and up. So now if we're starting to see inflation start to impact the multi-millionaires, Hall of Fame athletes, boy, oh, boy, oh. I don't know how we're supposed to make it down here at the bottom end, guys, but you see the headline right here, right now. Phillip Rivers signs with the Colts practice squad. Hooray, hooray. The old man in the comeback. The Colts didn't just work out Rivers for fun. The 44-year-old is signing with the club's practice squad. Now, what does that mean? That means they're still just giving it the old tire kick. Rivers now joins the Indy club with 4 games left in 25, and the playoff hopes on life support. And this is something that I don't know if it's a Shane Steichen thing, but he likes these old guys, dude. Why is Phillip Rivers being worked out? Why are we leaning on a 44-year-old, 5 years removed from the league quarterback? Well, in Indy's situation, things just are not working out. It was fun. Let's be honest. The Daniel Jones ride was fun. Good on him. Everybody likes an underdog story, especially when you look like a just special needs version of Eli Manning's little brother. You're like the fourth Manning brother who just kind of fell down every flight of stairs. You know what I'm saying? Indy worked out the veteran quarterback on Monday, which was his 44th birthday. Ooh, what a coinkydink. Amid a litany of quarterback injuries. Ooh, a litany of quarterback injuries. That's putting it lightly. God damn, my ankle is itchy. Starter Daniel Jones suffered a season-ending Achilles tear. Now, get it right. Get it tight. It is a rupture, not just a tear. Now, a tear can be a rupture, but a rupture, I don't believe, can be a tear. We talked about that. Shout out old Dr. Nick P., Mr. Old Hack and Slash himself, giving us the liggity lowdown, making us feel like we were some high IQ individuals over here. He's like, Hat, and patting me on the head. You poor little boy. You don't understand medical terms. I'm like, I don't understand medical term. Can I put Band-Aid on it? Can I get a Flintstones Band-Aid, please? Starter Daniel Jones in Week 14. Anthony Richardson remains on IR with an orbital fracture. Well, that's probably part of it, as Anthony Richardson can't see how shitty he actually is. And undrafted rookie Riley Leonard, who took over for Jones on Sunday, is dealing with a grade 1 PCL injury. Is this Canada? Are we in grade 1? The initial plan was for Rivers to aid Leonard. Okay, so there you go. There's the reality of the situation. The plan here, at least according to NFL.com, they're not. It doesn't seem like they're putting a lot of weight on Phillip Rivers to be, hey, get out there and do things, bucko. Go drop back 40 times and throw for 300 yards. Chop, chop. The plan, at least according to this report, is Rivers, who has already seen time as a high school head football coach, kind of being more old man mentor. Here, put the pads and helmet on, but just make sure that it's really comfortable for you to hold the clipboard, because we're just going to roll with the undrafted rookie and let him just, we don't need to see elder abuse, okay? All right? I'm going to turn into Slippin' Jimmy over here, all right? We don't need to see no elder abuse. So according to Ian Rappaport, that they were with the potential down the road to serve as a potential down the road. Gotcha. So originally it's just to come in and kind of coach up Riley Leonard. Rivers is currently one of 26 modern-era semifinalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class in 2026, which is his first year of eligibility. That's cool. If he moves onto the active roster at any point, his candidacy will be pushed off 5 years. Wow, wow, wee, wah. That'd be quite the pushback. Sitting at 8-5, yes, we know that the AFC faces a brutal slate. Sunday they face the Seahawks, who are oh wow, that's just a buzzsaw. Are you guys seeing the schedule for the Indianapolis Colts? They got to deal with Seattle. Oh no. Sunday they got to go to Seattle. Then they got to host the Niners. the Jags, who just beat them and are trying to, all of a sudden the AFC South has turned into just kind of a knockdown, drag-out slugfest of a division outside of the Tennessee Titans. And then they got to finish up at home against a juiced-up Houston Texans team. Yeah, man. 17-year veteran. Spent 16 seasons with the Chargers. We know that. He's compiled 4,100 yards. Good on him. Good on him. 4,100. Wait. What was it? Not 4,100 yards. Rivers threw for 4,100 yards, 24 touchdowns with the last time he was in Indy. So my question, though, is like, really, guys, Phillip Rivers? Well, let's go over here to sporttrack.com, and I have pulled up here 2025 all teams, quarterback, free agent type, all types. According to them, there are 3 guys. 3 guys, and I don't think Jeff Driscoll is. I think Jeff Driscoll is currently on the Arizona Cardinals practice squad. So that would leave C.J. Beathard. I know it's Beathard, but I like to say Beathard, and Jake Fromm, who was last seen here in the Motor City. Okay, now you start to think, well, why don't we take a look at the practice squad? Clearly, there's got to be guys out there. Well, C.J. Beathard and Malik Cunningham are both on Detroit's practice squad, so take Beathard right on out of it. Jeff Driscoll is over there in Arizona, which would leave one name on here, and that'd be Jake Fromm. Jake Fromm, who is currently flying high in Hawaiian, completely unclaimed by anybody. But there are plenty of other guys here on practice squads that I think they probably should have taken a swing at. Bro, I just happened to glance over. Insert Hendon Hooker. Dude, I was like, why aren't they even like looking at Hendon Hooker, So, right off the rip here, Mike White, totally feasible. Bailey Zappi, I'm just saying these guys have, I think, a little bit more upside, at least at this point in their career. Brett Ripon is already on their practice squad. At least he has NFL exposure. Jake Haener, possibly right there. Adrian Martinez, even a possibility. The thing is I just don't like the bringing out of retirement. What does that say? What does that say about the caliber of quarterback that we're dealing with right now? Because let's be honest, yes, Phillip Rivers was very, very good at one point in the prime of his career, and then we watched the fall off of Phillip Rivers. The last time we seen Phillip Rivers, he was not looking oh so great. And to be honest, his mechanics have never looked very great. He's got this weird, it's like a 2/3 motion throw. So it looks like he's putting a lot of stress on his elbow and wrists and fingers, you know what I'm saying? So it's got to hurt after a little bit. And personally, if you look at just the number of guys, there are plenty of other, I'm going to be very honest. Me? I'm going after Bailey Zappi. Are you serious? He's got NFL exposure, pedigree, and played under Bill Belichick. Let's go. Bailey Zappi, I think, would be, at least in my opinion, either Bailey Zappi. They already got Brett Ripon, even though Brett Ripon is not good. He's not good. I'm going to be very honest. Brett Ripon is not very good. Clayton Tune is a possibility, a little bit younger on the upside. I do like Mike White, though. I would have preferred, at least if it were me, I would have preferred the Mike White move, Bailey Zappi, but, maybe even a Sam Hartman, dude. I don't know, man. I'm not wild. I'm not over the moon. Even Jake Haener. I'm not over the moon about Phillip Rivers, unless the reality, like they said in the article, and we could just being fed a load of hype. Oh, Phillip Rivers is back and on the practice squad. Yeah, more in a mentorship type role. We're going to roll with Riley Leonard. That's what they're not saying out loud. That's what they're not actually telling you. So, yes, there are all these headlines about Phillip Rivers, but it seems to be the plan isn't necessarily to utilize Philippe Rivers, right? It seems to be he's going to be more of a coach on the sidelines, clipboard. Let's go. Let's talk about our Detroit Lions. How we doing, Mad Hatter Nation? Rivers reminds me of Robert De Niro yelling at his wife that she's the reason he has to make all these crappy movies. Ryan, my guy, dude, my guy. That is, that's we're kind of on that same boat. It's like, dude, if you could stop banging your old lady, then you probably wouldn't have to come back to the NFL, or at the very least, like get like a. Actually, there was one more thing I wanted to point out here. Where was it? Come on now. Oh, yeah, here we go. The bonus is that Steichen has spent plenty of time with Rivers during his time with the Chargers, including a quarterback's coach. Since then, the Colts have gone through 8 starting quarterbacks. That's insane. But right here, fun fact, learned in production meetings, Phillip Rivers ran the same offense as the Colts for, God, Dang it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm just going to have to come back to X, aren't I? I'm just going to have to start using X again, aren't I, guys? If I start using X, you guys going to come follow me if I start using X again? I need to start using X again. So he ran the same offense as Shane Steichen for his son's high school team. He and Shane Steichen spoke weekly about it, discussing plays and even film. So he is still on the up and knows exactly what Shane Steichen is trying to do, which is why I think we could lean even more into this report right here. The initial plan is for Rivers to aid Leonard and serve as a potential option down the road, per Rappaport. Rivers will participate in practice on Wednesday. So that I would lean more into that notion right there. I don't know how bad. Let's take a look. How bad is a grade 1 PCL? Grade 1 PCL. Mild injury involving a slight stretch or tiny tear in the posterior cruciate I don't know what to do with the A and the I, dude. It's all long. Cruciate. You got A's, I's, and E's all in the same word, dude, and they're just, I don't know what to do with that. So the PCL, causing minimal instability, but pain and swelling common in football. Recovery time is typically 1 to 3 weeks with physical therapy and bracing. So I would expect Riley Leonard to at least be the starter, knowing that, look, you're playing with two China dolls either way. You know what I mean? You're either dealing with a 40-year-old fragile guy who hasn't played football in 5 years or a already injured quarterback. So hopefully your line can hold up. Don't try to produce medical terms. Thank you, Rick. I will try not to because, as you guys can see, I am a stupid. Oh, Jack, you and Brandy both already follow me on X? All right, guys. I got to get back on X. Oh, that's a good question, Rick. It doesn't appear so, according to Sport Track over here on Twitter. Tennessee has Trevor Siemian. Oh, hell, I'd even go Trevor Siemian at this rate. That's a good question. Is the Mayo Man even in the league? What was his name? What was his name? Will Levis. Levis still in the NFL. Currently sidelined for the entire season, recovering from shoulder surgery. Oh, he's on IR. There you go. He's on IR. Old Mayo Man himself is on IR. There you go, bro. We got down to that, didn't we? And now we'll go back to an X. Things will never end well, Mr. Detroit City. Preach, dude. Preach. Yeah, I wouldn't. Look, man, I don't know, man. You'd like to think Phillip Rivers should be set, but you know, you hear all these things about athletes lose everything. Maybe this is a money move, dude. Maybe this is a money move. So over here at Heavy, or A to Z, let's go ahead and pause. I was thinking heavy because that guy's heavy, but I'm heavy too. Not too long ago, there were some concerns that the Lions might lose defensive coordinator Kelvin Shepard to LSU after they fired Brian Kelly. Gonna get you damn near old crawfish boy there now. Gonna go fire Brian Kelly. But that's not happening, right? He's not going to LSU. He's staying home. Lions tight end coach Tyler Roll will be taking the offensive coordinator job at Iowa State. This is kind of set back the Lions in the sense that Roll was a coach. The Lions head coach Dan Campbell said he had his eyes on for a long time. There was some thought that maybe the Lions might consider him for their offensive coordinator role if the team decides to move on from John More Screens. But that's not going to happen, meaning that they're not going to hire Tyler Roll. John. Mr. Morton. Can I call you John? Look here, bud. It's not personal. It's just business. And you? I'm not good at the offensive coordinating. Look, that's not an insult. It's not talking shit if it's true. Maybe you need to go to the UFL. I don't know. All I'm saying is your schemes for the NFL don't work. And Detroit, Dan Campbell, not really one to follow trends, per se, right? We are more so of a trend setter in the NFL, in my humble opinion. But what I do think the Lions will follow suit with the rest of the NFL is your top-end teams, your high-octane offenses, right? The good offenses in the league have offensive coordinators who assist the head coach in calling plays, right? Look at not Steichen, but look at McVay, look at Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, hell, even Ben Johnson. Dan Campbell just needs to permanently assume play calling duties. We know he's been doing it. We know he's been doing it for a while, be it officially or unofficially, even with Ben Johnson being here, right? So I think Dan Campbell, and it's just part of the evolution of the NFL and the modernization of the NFL, is that head coaches need to be more than just head coaches. They do need to be offensive coordinators on top of that, at least for now, while the NFL is being a high-octane offensive type deal. Roll was already at Iowa State in 2024 before leaving to take the tight ends job in Detroit after Steve Hyden took the job with the Jets. Now he'll go back there with a promotion. And the Lions will be on the lookout for a new tight ends coach. However, learn from your Johnny Morton mistakes, Dan Campbell. Promote from within. It's going to be a big moment for assistant tight end coach Seth Ryan. Seth Ryan, you say? Would that happen to be? Why, yes, it is the son of former Jets coach Sexy Rexy Ryan to take the tight end's job. Let's go. I hope that's the case. I hope we promote from within. So now I do want to say that per Rich Silva of the Detroit News, Roll's not leaving right away. He will finish out the season with the Detroit Lions. So regardless of how long it takes to however long we're here for the Super Bowl and the celebration afterwards, Roll will stay on staff with the Lions through the duration of the season, which is a good thing. Keeps a little bit of that chemistry going. And it then allows for the preparation of the transition to a Seth Ryan if he is indeed the promotionary piece, the slide in, the natural progression for the coach. It allows then the chemistry to start being built early on. It allows for pieces to be put in place for the transition in the offseason. It allows for an easier transition of power, if it were, for that specific coaching or position room. So, and good on Tyler Roll. You like to see guys climb. Obviously, you'd prefer, at least in the eyes of the NFL, typically you'd want to go NFL, 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 NFL. But in this case, hey, he's going to go NFL, and then he's going to take a huge step from a tight ends coach to an offensive coordinator job, albeit in the collegiate ranks. It is still a massive promotion. And personally, the Dan Campbell coaching staff, I feel, could have a bigger impact on young men culturally at the collegiate ranks. That's why I was actually on board with Calvin Shepard becoming the LSU head football coach, because he could have a massive impact on the mentality, growth, and development of young men in this country, and that is absolutely what we need. So cheers, Tyler Roll. This is not a bad thing. This is a net benefit for all parties involved. This is a net benefit. Even though it sucks losing coaching staff, it's the way the world works when you're a winning program like the Detroit Lions. Speaking of the Detroit Lions and being a winning program, now we're going to kick it on over to Heavy.com. The NFL just got a new reason to root for the Lions. Now, what could that be? What could that ever be? Well, guys, before we get into it, make sure that you've liked, commented, and subscribed. Turn that notification bell on and share this video around with all your friends. Over the past few years, here in the Motor City, at least in the Pride, I think it's safe to say that we have all come to the conclusion that we are now America's real team, right? The Dallas Cowboys America's team thing, that was fun in the 90s, and they tried to milk that out for the past 2 decades. The reality is, the minute Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions started changing the culture in Detroit from season 1, it got a lot more fun. Dan Campbell, a little bit more flashy of a head coach, a little bit more entertaining at the podium. Where America fell in love with Detroit, and this is why I'd like to see it return. I'd happily reactivate my $20 a month membership. America fell in love with Detroit, the Detroit Lions, and Motor City Dan Campbell when we went on Hard Knocks. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember this? Let's go ahead and pull up YouTube real quick. Let's pull this up. Let's just have a little refresher. Dan Campbell Hard Knocks. And yes, I spell it Canucks. Yeah, this one. This one right here. Y'all remember this speech? This is the moment everyone fell in love with Dan Campbell.
If we don't work on tackling, if we don't work on run after catch, making a move, man, what are we doing, man? Then we finally get to week 8 and we come to life because we got enough reps. That's why I'm doing it, I swear, man. I don't want to put anybody in jeopardy, but we have to do it, man. I believe it. We're not going to do it every day. I'm going to give you an illustration tonight. Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man. That's all I think about is you guys and how I set you up for the best possible. The best possible.
Whoops.
I got a plan,
Shit.
I swear to you. All I think about
Shit.
is you guys.
My bad, guys.
That's all I think about,
I rolled.
man.
So that was the speech, I think, that America truly accepted the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell as their team. That was such an emotional, and if you follow that, all I think about is you guys, all I think about is you guys. It was that third, all I effing think about is you guys, right? You could see that he went from speech mode to sheer emotion, and what he was saying was true. And it's something, it is authentic, and it was genuine, and it is something that is grossly lacking in our world, and even more so in the NFL, right? What are a few blow-up moments we've ever seen of actual passion in the NFL? We let them off they were who we thought they were, bam, and we let them off the hook. You know what I'm saying? Sheer, pure, unbridled emotion. Playoffs? You want to talk about playoffs? Playoffs? Sheer, unbridled emotion. And it's something that Americans, especially our generation, desperately wants is authenticity. And when Dan Campbell went out there and he cracked out of speech mode head coach to I'm Dan Campbell, we're the Detroit Lions, we're all in this together, and all I effing think about is you guys, man. That is the moment Americans fell in love with Dan Campbell. That was the absolute moment right there, and that's when we became America's true team, whether the Cowboys want to admit it or not. Even though the Dallas Cowboys are called America's team often, it really feels like the new and improved 8-5 Lions should have that label. The Lions have been the underdogs for pretty much the entire franchise history, but now they're a real contender with a 52% chance of making the postseason, while other teams are already out of the running. Yes, and historically, we were one of those teams. On December 4th, for Thursday Night Football, a must-win team, we delivered a 44-30 victory. We know that, over America's team. Now, there are always theories that the NFL wants certain teams to go all the way. Even if it's not just the case, it's fun to look at which teams in the NFL are drawing big viewership numbers. Well, if the NFL does want a lot of people watching at the big game, they might want to root for the Lions all the way. Thank you. Thank you for setting the table and now making it look like the NFL is going to put their thumb on the scale because, of course, just like when we came out and punched the Kansas City Chiefs in the mouth opening game 2 years ago. Brian Branch with that big pick six on opening night. We're Super Bowl champs. Look at us, look at us, look at us. Well, the Lions didn't win that game. The Chiefs lost that game because, put an asterisk on it, Chris Jones wasn't playing, right? We can't ever have anything. No. Everything has to be X, Y, and Z. You didn't earn it. You didn't win it. And now they're setting the table to say, well, Detroit brings in big viewership. It's kind of like how I've always been saying, right, about why certain coastal teams get a little bit more hype, get a little bit more what seems to be referees putting their thumb on the scale a little bit because of that viewership numbers, bigger media markets. That's something Detroit isn't necessarily considered. But when you look at the actual table, the way that it's all played out, we talked about it, yesterday or Monday? What is Detroit's new thing, dude? What is the thing that we do? We don't jump through tables. We don't go, Pat, go. We don't skull. We don't, none of that stuff. We don't hooday or bear down or none of that nonsense. No. We roll into your house, we take a big sloppy shit on your kitchen table, and then we chant Jared Goff on the way out the door, motherfucker. That's what we do. We're out here growing. We're getting people. We are the hyped, true America's team, and the viewership is reflecting that. But now when you shine a light on that, it looks like the NFL is playing the numbers game and that it's not a metrics, or it's a viewer metrics thing, not an actual meritocratic victory for the Detroit Lions. Super Bowl will be played on February 25th to set new viewership records with 127 million average viewers across the platform. That made the most watched Super Bowl and TV event ever in the United States. The game featured the Eagles and the Chiefs and drew a viewership peak of 137.7 million. But the Detroit Lions could top that. Just so we are clear, look at this. Would you look at this? Look at this. Oh, would you look at that? You got to pay for Prime, baby. You got to pay for Prime. This isn't. There is a barrier for entry to watch prime games. Let's be honest. Some people, and this is neither judging nor belittling. This is the reality of the world that we live in. Some people can't afford that, okay? Some people can't pay to watch their team. And there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who watching their team play once a week, come hell or high water, it is the one thing that they have, right? They're part of the reason why I don't like to stream games with you guys is I like my little moment in time there with Hat and Boobs, with the dogs, with our thing, and it's our time, And it sucks when you put this barrier for entry because not only do you have to pay for cable and internet, but now you're going to tell me I got to pay for a Prime subscription also to watch my Detroit Lions? Come on, man. But just as the Lions fans prove every road game when, as I said, we roll into their house and take a big sloppy shit on their kitchen table, and then we chant Jared Goff on the way out the door with a big W on the board. You know what I'm saying? 22.18 million members, 22.18 million viewers at peak viewership. The highest ever peak viewership for TNF on Prime. And that's saying a lot because Al Michaels is getting dragged over the coals a little bit for his lackluster performance in broadcasting, right? I think it is time that we move the old guard out. You guys have been hearing me talk about Chris Collinsworth a lot, and you guys know my prime guy to replace Chris Collinsworth, or hell, even Al Michaels at this point. Bring on Greg Olsen. Let's go. On December 8th, the Lions took to social media to share that their game against the Cowboys broke a record. The showdown, which took place on December 4th, marked the highest ever peak viewership for TNF on Prime. The Lions get the best ratings. Imagine Super Bowl viewership. Of course, the Lions had to share the honor with the Cowgirls, and one commenter said, "A lot of it is because of the Dallas Cowboys, but I'll take it." Well, let's not get too negative. I'm going to go ahead and say yes, the Cowboys are a big draw. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't like, damn, I just happened to look over at the chat. Damn, Rick, you don't like Olsen? That's fair, dude. That's fair. I like Greg Olsen more than I like Chris Collinsworth, or as much as I like Al Michaels because it makes me feel like a little kid again. He's too old, dude. The game's too fast for him. I don't know, man. I don't know, but he's getting that old drawl, that lackluster drawl. But this is a good thing. This is a good thing. Even though the Lions were up against another great franchise, both of the teams obviously are drawing viewers. And that should make the NFL eager to see how far the Lions get in the postseason. God willing, the team gets there. Let's go, you guys. It is a good thing that we draw this much, but stop talking about it because I don't need people like me going, well, it's just because they got viewership. It's just because of the viewership. The NFL wants the Lions to succeed because they make the NFL a lot of money. I don't need some guy, some dude over there, cheese hat and cheese beard, saying something ridiculous, going, well, it's because of viewership. No. That takes away from the meritocracy of the game. Though the reality is the Detroit Lions sell, baby. The Detroit Lions sell. And it's definitely a huge benefit that we have changed our uniform appearance because those silver masks were not doing us any good. Those blue masks, dude. What I really like is when we wear our blue jerseys with white pants, dude. I think that is so crispy, dude. I think that is so crispy, you guys. So we got one story left up here for y'all before we get up on out here. Let's go ahead and oil our gears. Check it out. I don't know if I've pointed this out. Hat and Boobs got me this dope-ass oil or mobile oil can coffee mug because I'm always like, I got to hit the oil can. And she found me this cool mobile oil coffee mug, which I was like, hey, that's pretty awesome that you bought a mobile mug. And she's like, well, it was between them and BP. And I was like, well, I'd rather you buy ExxonMobil because I own stock in ExxonMobil. They're one of my big heavies. Hell yeah, buy energy stock. Let's go. This is not financial advice. Before we get into it, guys, our last segment of the day, can you go ahead and like this video, share it around with all your friends, do all the things, ring all of my buttons, and poke all of my bells. The Detroit Lions, according to Pride of Detroit, are re-signing quarterback Arthur Mollett and are waiving a tight end. We say farewell to Ross Smelly Dwelly. We re-signed Mollett, but then find ourselves shorthanded at tight end. And I would counter that shorthanded. Look, we might not have the registered bodies at tight end, okay, actual designation tight end, because Brock Wright's on IR. Sam Laporta's on IR. Ross Dwelly's seen a major downtick in his snaps last game, where Anthony Furster's seen an uptick. So I'm going to go out on a limb here. And we've seen Furster actually get involved. I think he had one catch, Whatever. Good on him. We're not hanging our hat or our beard on Anthony Furster being a tight end one, Unfortunately, he's just a jag, just a guy. But short-handed at tight end? Short-handed? No. Dan Skipper is anything but short, and he is our tight end 2, or possibly tight end 3 at this point. And Dan Skipper stands at a whopping 6'9". He is not short, and we are not short-handed at tight end. Thank you very much. The Lions announced on Tuesday that they have re-signed Arthur Mollett to the 53-man roster and waived Smelly Dwelly. Mollett signed with the Lions on the practice squad in early October, and he was the nickelback. He was our nickelback. Look at this photograph of the Legion of Whom. Every time I see this play, it makes me laugh. Mollett would go on to play nickel for the Lions for 3 more games before the Lions got healthier in the secondary. He was waived in November when we brought back Khalil Dorsey and needed extra space for Anthony Furster and receiver old Thumb Kennedy. Pow, pow, Thumb Kennedy. Mollett's a 9-year veteran. Yes, we know that. Cornerback TA is out for the year, and so is Brian Branch, who reportedly tore his Achilles last week. What do you mean reportedly? What do you mean reportedly? And the Lions are still evaluating Kirby Joseph. Good. That's what we like to hear. Just still evaluating. Good. That's what we like to hear. Dwelly waiving is also moderately interesting. As we talked about that, we're already shorthanded at tight end. No Brock Wright. No Block Wright because he blocks wrong and he's on IR. No Laporta because he's on IR. Shane Zylstra has his window open back up, but what do you see down here? Oh, what do you like? Detroit also started the evaluation clock on Shane Zylstra last week, but he practiced just a single time before being sidelined with a new knee injury. Good. The Lions have 2 tight ends on the roster, though. Anthony Furster and Hayden Rucci. Last week, the Lions were awarded Rucci off of waivers. He didn't play against the Cowboys. He went undrafted in 24 and played with the Dolphins. The Lions also recently signed Giovanni Ricci to their practice squad. All right, good on us. Unfortunately, I'm not going to lie. I was kind of like, hey, Shane Zylstra? All right, a little late season addition to an underrated guy, a little flash in the pan. A little Tony Scheffler 2.0. Now, unfortunately, he's proven to be exactly that. Tony Scheffler 2.0, and that frickin' sucks. I don't think we're going to be making any more moves at the tight end spot before the game. We historically, have had 3 tight ends, but historically love to run that jumbo set with your friendly neighborhood Dan Skipper out there. So why not? Look, we're already trending in a negative script for the Lions, right? The traveling out to the West Coast, playing in L.A., playing against Jared Goff's former team, who is now quarterbacked by the Lions' former quarterback, Matthew Stafford, who is just... Yeah, did you guys know that Matt Stafford never threw a pass properly until he went to Los Angeles? Did you know that? He wasn't very good until he went to L.A. Apparently, Matt Stafford didn't know his asshole from his elbow until he landed in L.A. And then once he got to L.A., oh, well, would you look at that? Would you look at that? All of a sudden, he's good. Interesting. That's weird, even though the metrics don't really back that up. So we have that narrative, and to be honest, the Rams are good. All season long, I've been hyping up the Eagles, saying they're our biggest opponent to get to the Super Bowl. I think teams out on the West Coast had something to say about that. I think both of the 2 heavies out on the NFC West, both the the Seahawks and the Rams, are both very, very good and legit contenders. How we perform Sunday will be a massive indicator as to how we will perform in the playoffs. Obviously, last game was a win or go home, right? A make or break game for us, and we won in very dramatic fashion. Can we keep this rolling, or are we going to do this shit that we've been doing all year, this up and down, or are we going to continue to gas it? Gas it and gun it. Lean on the run game. Lean on your offensive line. Keep the ball away from that high-flying offense, right? Roll out with heavy sets. Yeah, you're down to 2 tight ends on the roster, but you're just going to roll heavy, and you're going to break the will, break the mindset, and destroy the LA Rams. Make them sore, beat them up, and make them have that Honolulu flu, because if we beat them, then they statistically suffer from the Honolulu flu next week. They're poised to lose, which benefits everybody in the NFC playoff race, namely the Detroit Lions, because it gives us a win over the Rams and then ideally another loss in their column the following week. So hopefully everything turns out right and we continue to just kind of play bully ball. I do want to shout out, I actually seen this video the other day, or yesterday I was skimming. I want to give a big shout out to our girl Brandy Coffee in the chat, sharing Annie Agar. I think that's how you pronounce it, or Annie. Yeah, it's Annie Agar, right? She's got these pretty funny videos. I'm gonna be honest. After the first few times of watching her content, you kind of know what you're getting. Insert witty quip. Look at the camera with over accentuated eyelashes, bat eyelashes. You know what I'm saying? But the jokes are there. The jokes are there. It's funny. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go ahead and watch Annie Agar's NFL meeting week 14.
Well, this week we found out NFL refs have no idea what a touchdown is, but neither do the Commanders. I cannot believe Isaiah Likely got screwed again. Okay, you didn't get screwed. Will you calm down? That was not a touchdown. Yes, it was. The Ravens got screwed so badly, Abdul Carter's about to watch them in his next team meeting. I'm sorry, what exactly made that not a touchdown? Well, he would need to have 3 feet in. 3 feet! Mm-hmm. And what is that in inches? Arthur! Okay, moving on. Dallas and Detroit get in here. People were complaining that Al Michaels was emotionless and acted like he didn't care if a ball got caught, but neither did George Pickens. Guys, we are so back. 201A cold weather game. Oh my gosh. It's like looking in the mirror. No, it isn't. Yes, the Dolphins and Chiefs now have the same record. Look, okay, I know we look bad, but we can still make the playoffs. That only happens in the SEC. Speaking of, Notre Dame is very upset they were left out of the playoffs. So we're going to have them talk to the Jets since they have 15 years of experience. I have a question. Since all the losers are here, can we talk about the draft order? Sure. It's currently Giants, Raiders, Titans, Browns, and Saints. Was that the draft order or the Patriots schedule? With the first overall pick, we are taking Alberto Mendoza. That's his brother. Whose brother? Fernando's. The bull? That's Ferdinand. Get Stefanski in here. Kevin, Shador had almost 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, and you took him out for the 2-point conversion. That was the dumbest thing you've ever done. That's not true. Going for 2 the first time was. Start playing Shador. Look, Dylan Gabriel still gives us the best chance to win. Yeah, maybe a limbo contest. It's over. We are screwed. What happened to Anthony Richardson? He still can't see. And that's different how? I would say ask Riley Leonard, but he went to Notre Dame, and they apparently declined to play in December. Jacksonville Trevor looked great. Congrats on Jacoby Myers. Did you guys know receivers can run to the middle of the field? Okay, also, we had our first snow game this week. Even the snow had better coverage than Geno Stone. Houston, congrats on the win. You hit Rashee Rice so hard he looked like a crash test dummy, but those tend to stay with the car after an accident. This was not Mahomes' fault. We have 21 drops. Yes, the only one who held on to Mahomes' balls this weekend was Chris Collinsworth. This is sports betting. No, we are not. Kicking the field goal gave us a 0.001% chance of winning, which is still more than Geno Smith does. Well, all right, go ahead. You guys played a great game. Caleb looked a lot better. Really? Bear down. Yeah, bear down. To the 7th seed. Fire everyone. Jalen Hurts is the worst. That's not very positivity rabbit of you. More like Bad Bunny. Well, good thing they got to see a Bad Bunny in their locker room because they won't be seeing the one at the Super Bowl. And lastly, the Colts watched Justin Herbert get sacked 7 times and still win. So they called Phillip Rivers, since both Chargers quarterbacks don't use protection. Well, this week we found out NFL refs...
All right, let's see if I can look this last one up here. This dude cracks me the fuck up, dude. Yeah, Drew Allen. This guy's funny as shit. Here we go. We'll run through a couple of these real quick. This dude just cracks me up.
Things have definitely gotten better for us lately, and you can't really say the same, can you, Lions? When times are tough, it's best to go back to your roots, and a game against you is the perfect time to debut Belt to Ass the Reboot. Oh, give it a break. Everyone knows the reboot is never as good as the original. We kick a field goal. Oh, wow, a whole field goal? We kick one too, dweeb ass, and you punt. You punt. Dan Skipper reports as eligible, and Jahmyr Gibbs gets into the end zone. Another kick by Brandon Aubrey, and you punt again. Shut your trap, shit-idiot. Brian Branch recovers Jake Ferguson's fumble, and David Montgomery runs in a 35-yard touchdown. We kick another field goal. Jake Bates does too. You get the ball to start the second, and Derek Barnes picks off a deflection. Tesla may be an EV, but Isaac Tesla catches a TD. Man, I've missed this thing. My baby! Javonte Williams touchdown, we block a kick, we had a field goal, so do you. Ryan Flanoy, 42-yard touchdown, and Fergie for 2, we're within 3. Don't you know not to get between 53 men and their soulmate? Gibbs scores another touchdown. Another field goal. Jahmyr crosses the goal line for the hat trick. Prescott is picked off by DJ Reed to close out this game, you greasy weasel. Never, and I mean ever, smack my baby out of my hands ever again. What were we supposed to do? Just stand there and take it? Yes, stand there and take your spankings on the ass like a grown man. Why haven't you guys had that thing for all your games again this year? It's just kind of gotten passed around to someone different every week. It actually reminds us of somebody. Really? Who? Your mom? What? Things have definitely gotten better.
All right, I want to play just one more of this, guys, dude. This one cracked me up. When he does the Cleveland Browns, he cracks me up, dude. Check this one out.
We're the Tennessee Titans. And we're the Cleveland Browns. We're the Tennessee Titans. And we're the Cleveland Browns. I know, you are. You are the Cleveland Browns. And you're the... What was your name again? I won't remind you. Your brain's like an Etch-a-Sketch anyway. Cam Ward throws to Alec Ayo Manor for a touchdown to start the game. Cool. We punt. That's what I like to hear from you. Ward is intercepted by Devin Bush, and we kick a field goal. I don't like hearing that as much, but Tony Pollard does run in a 65-yard touchdown. Shadur Sanders throws to David Njoku to score 2. We punt. We punt. We punt. Shadur throws to Jerry Jeudy for a 60-yard touchdown flip, and you're gonna punt. We don't want to punt. Well, you're gonna. Okay, we punt. Cool. We take the lead into halftime. Just gotta make some halftime adjustments. We can definitely win this game. We can win this game? No, not you. Us. Right. We're not you. We're us. This is just a setup to tell us who you are, isn't it? We're the Cleveland Browns. I know you are. You get the ball to start the half. We punt. We punt. We punt. We punt. We punt. We punt. Punt. While you're enjoying the smell of fresh cooked 3 and out, Sanders is picked by Xavier Woods, and Pollard runs 32 yards back into the end zone. Okay. We punt. We punt. Actually, Dylan Sampson fumbles. We recover. Cam to Chimere DK touchdown. And we punt. We block your punt. You what? We block your punt? You what? We're the Tennessee Titans. We kick a field goal. What do you want us to say? How dare you ruin a perfectly good punt? Sorry? Shadur runs in a touchdown. We fail our 2-point. You punt. Harold Fannin Jr. catches a touchdown. We fail our 2-point again, and we onside kick. We recover the onside kick. We're going to win this game. Please don't hurt us. We don't care about that. Just never, ever ruin any of our punts ever again. Okay, we won't. I swear. Pinky promise. Yeah, dude, I promise. With every pinky I've got. Okay, cool. All right, well, we win. We win? No, not you. Us. Us? No, that's not. Just say the line. We're the Cleveland Browns. I know you are. We're the Tennessee Titans. And we're...
This guy cracks me up, y'all. That Drew Allen guy, he's funny as shit, man. All right, let's take one last walk through Mad Hatter Nation here. Stafford's best pass came in the Lions uniform. Hell yeah, Rick. It sure as shit did. Shane Falco can still fill in for Indy. Ain't that right, dude? Bobby Boucher play tight end. My guy. Roll heavy. Stick's favorite cousin? Hell yeah, brother. Rolling heavy. That's what we like to say, dude. We like to see him roll out with that heavy setup, dude. Collinsworth makes me wish he could have become a coach. I just wish Collinsworth could have never set foot in a booth, dude. But yes, you are right. When he talks, you could tell he definitely wanted to be a coach. Brandy, she is still funny, dude. Eggers is American loving woman. Wants to hear marching in a rainbow parade. Hell yeah, Jack. That's what we like to hear, dude. That's what we like to hear. None of that Tom Grossi nonsense. He hit Stafford early and often. Give him happy feet. He'll throw picks. Brent. My guy. You know the happy feet then. When Stafford gets a pitter-patter in his feet, it's just like Jared Goff rolling out to his, doing a full 360 out to his weak side. You know something bad's going to happen. Super Bowl halftime show should be the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. You agree with my take? Dude, thank you, bro. I think it should be. Thank you, Mr. Detroit City. Doesn't it make sense? Culture, and we want, the highest prestigious honor in the NFL. Why not make it the focal point, the ultimate episode of the NFL, the Super Bowl? It's the season finale. So why not have the most prestigious award be awarded during the season finale? Doesn't that just kind of make sense? Lost against the bot. Yeah, dude, Kane. All right, so you watch Drew Allen too, dude. He's funny, dude. I like that. And we're the Cleveland Browns. Like that just cracks me. He does it with that face, dude. I give that guy a lot of credit. He's a funny young guy, a funny young man. Absolutely crushing it, and good for him, dude. So today, boys and girls, I don't know if you noticed, we did kind of change up how we did the show a little bit. I am trying to not read the article so much because that gets very boring, right? I'm not trying to be a robot anymore. We're trying to be a little bit more, give you my take on things more so. Not so much just read it, regurgitate, but kind of jump around, read it how I feel. How do you guys feel about it? Did you kind of like it? I watched the video where Theo Von, Tucker Carlson interview before I watched Tran Bad Bunny. Hell yeah, Mr. Detroit City. Oh, I already did. Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. But we're just trying a little bit of a different approach here, a little bit more of a less robotic, I guess I would be. Tucker's new outdoor series looks so sweet. Is he doing it though here in the States, or is he doing it over there in Saudi Arabia or Dubai or wherever the hell he's at? I'm just joking, dude. I'm just poking fun, having ha-has. I'm just a silly boy. I'm just hunting and Waliani, DJT, etc. He filmed it all in the States. Hell yeah. I figured he would, dude. I figured he would. I'd just make a little tongue-in-cheek joke there. You know what I'm saying? Today, guys, we skimmed around Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement to join the Colts practice squad at 44 years old. And what could that mean as far as the pedigree of available quarterbacks in the NFL, as well as what does it say about guys on practice squads, which personally I would take a swing at. Obviously, Bailey Zappi would be the short list guy for me. I don't know why. I like what Bailey Zappi does on the field. I think he gives you a better chance to win than a broke-down Riley Leonard or an even more older broken-down Phillip Rivers. But you know what? That's just me, dude. The Lions tight end coach, good on him. Tyler Roll taking the offensive coordinator job for the Iowa State, Cyclones? Isn't that their name or something like that? Which, a little bit of a Detroit Lions connection there. It's where David Montgomery's from. So cheers to him there. The NFL is got a reason to root for the Lions, or we are trying to build a narrative around the Lions being carried by the NFL thanks to viewership records being set on Prime, as well as Detroit consistently getting eyeballs. And like I said, we don't do the jump through tables. We ain't who dat, go pack go, or blow pack blow, or bear down on your knees, or skull, or none of that nonsense. No, the Detroit Lions, well, after decades and decades of being the punching bag and the punchline for many, many jokes, well, why not? I don't have a problem. I really don't. I think it's awesome. And it'd be even funnier if, 10 years from now when Jared Goff is retired, we still go into other teams' stadiums and start Jared Goff chants, dude. But I love that we just roll in to our opponent's house. They've got a nice Sunday spread, nice dinner lined up, a whole 3-hour, 4-quarter feast for the Lions and the NFL to enjoy. And, a back and forth scripted and planned, and this is what we're going to do, and this is the game plan, this is how we're going to execute. And Lions, the team, and the fans just roll in, drop trout, take a big sloppy shit right on the fucking table, pull our pants up, and just look at them and go, Jared Goff, Jared Goff, Jared Goff. And then we march out of their fucking house, dude. That's what we do. That's what the Lions absolutely do. And then we finished up talking about how the Lions signed Arthur Mollett to the active roster, and we waived old Ross Smelly Dwelly. Best of luck to you in your future endeavors, my friend. Though with the Shane Zylstra injury, maybe. But I like the idea of Dan Skipper being slotted in as our number 3 tight end for the majority of the game. Let's go, Motor City. You guys, Williams, what's up, Lion King? How you doing? Not mobile at all, the gunslinger, yes, but he will force throws. We know that. Damn straight he will. Hell yeah. What's up, Lion King? Good to see you, man. And Stafford's mobility, whatever mobility he did have, is long since gone. Hunting in Maine and fishing in the wild, hell yeah, dude. That's awesome, dude. Tucker Carlson seems like a fun guy, Uncle Rico is my pick for Indy. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome, dude. I bet you I can still throw his football over the mountains over there. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys, we're going to get up out of here. I've been Hat and Beard. Try and have your guys or yourself a good rest of the day. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so it's a hump day. Or today's Wednesday. My days are all fucked up because I'm working Tuesday through Saturday. My day's all fucked up. Today's Wednesday, hump day. Look at us go. We're just going to hump our way down around these slaloms and into the weekend before a big matchup out on the West Coast against the hated L.A. Rams. Try and have yourself a good rest of the day. Stay warm out there, guys. Don't hurt yourself, Rick. Don't be out there shoveling, hurting yourself even more, dude. Maybe take the snow and use it as an ice pack. Don't stress it, bro. Don't hurt yourself even more. Have yourself a good rest of the day, everybody. I've been Hat and Beard. You've been attentive audience. Till tomorrow at 10 a.m. Bonga bonga. Frig off.